Alright, welcome to this episode of my playthrough of Armored Core 4 Answer. If you are at this episode, you have chosen the League path and ending B. Now, really, all three of the League paths, A, B, and C, end up the same place. The only difference is the path you take to get there. It's not the ending, it's the journey that's different. Without any further ado, let's follow Path B. So, for Path B, we are going to choose to defeat ORCA's Special Arms Fort unit. The client is the League, and they are paying 700,000 credits.
Here is the mission. A special ORCA arms fort has been identified in the Old Clark area. We want you to take it out. We don't have any data on the AF model. All we do know is that it is a powerful destructive weapon designed for the sole purpose of destroying our way of life. We cannot afford to give ORCA a free hand. We will move in first with conventional forces. You will wait in reserve. Should your involvement become necessary, we will issue appropriate instructions as the situation demands. This war against ORCA will soon be over. Help us finish them off.
Seems interesting. Looks like we are going to be their ace in the hole. Let's try it.
Commence mission. Eradicate the enemy arms forts. The enemy has melee combat potential. They're equipped with several large blades. They'll cut through those makeshift buildings like paper mache. Don't rely on them for cover. Oh, I neglected to mention this, but your support has been completely wiped out. So don't hold anything back. Destroy the whole city if you have to. Easier said than done.
Oh, just a minor detail to forget to mention. So, fun fact about this game, these arms forts, their special weapon, their destructive ability, is based around these laser blades, these blue things that they're firing. Now, because I've played this before, I happen to know that there's this vent on top of each one, that if you're in it, they can't hit you. So, let's take out this one.
Radiation panels are its weak point.
Alright, let's move on to the next one. Oh, just in time. A whole bunch of blades came at me there. Not sure if these guys are immune to assault armor or just have a ton of armor points. My guess is just a ton of armor points. Well, maybe they're immune to assault armor. There we go. it looks like it's a ton of armor points. This guy's still alive.
Mission complete. Nothing phases you, does it? Hats off to you.
S rank on that guy? I'll take it. Also, I kind of find it funny how Orca's arms fort is like it's kind of like a caterpillar or a slug with just like massively powerful multiple blades. Alright, so now we only have one path forward, and that is to defeat the main Orca forces. The client is the League, and they're paying 700,000 credits.
Here's the mission. Destroy the Orca forces occupying Big Box. Big Box is a fortified city that years ago served as GA America's main center of power. However, it was abandoned when the cradles were built. ORCA saw their opportunity and illegally seized the facility. ORCA is now operating the Big Box defense system, and it has been restored to its peak operating capacity. This was once known as an impregnable fortress. Exercise extreme caution. We have also requested the help of the Rank 3 Next Rider Palash. Cooperate with her when carrying out the operation. You are the only ones who can complete this mission. It's up to you to stop this violent organization.
Well, we're going up against Orca. I imagine there'll be more nexts, so I'm sticking with my anti-next configuration. Let's go.
Commence mission. Eliminate the Orca Brigade.
This is Wynne D, Fanchon, and Rider Palash here. Let's take down the enemy nexts. No point in messing around.
This is Mulsel of the Orca Brigade. Welcome to Big Box. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Combat damage at 40%. Confirmed. Enemy next destroyed.
A fool's a fool, even when he's dead. This is my time. No matter. I'm of no use anymore. For mankind's golden age.
Confirmed. Enemy next destroyed. Mission complete.
Looks like mission accomplished. That's one massive gravestone. They shouldn't have any complaints.
Yeah, it's a big facility. Rank B, I'll take it.
The fighting concentrated on the world's largest Arteria facility, the Cranium, with both the League and ORCA seeking to wrest control from each other. But in the final moments of the fierce battle, the League's attitude shifted dramatically. Seemingly overnight, they began to disengage from the conflict. It was a secret pact. The League agreed to turn a blind eye to ORCA. In return, ORCA would protect the corporation's leaders and keep their dark secrets. It turned out that the ORCA leadership were as calculating as their corporate rivals. Their own security came first. They also knew well that the aftermath of the widespread destruction would spur the reins of economic growth. Now, nothing could stop ORCA. Nothing, except for Wynne D. Fanchon and her allies. They broke off from Collard and began operating independently.
I'm only going to say this once. Stay out of ORCA's way, Wynne D. This comes from the very top decision makers of both the League and Collard.
Is there a reason for this?
Reason? Since when did Collard need to explain itself to you?
I guess being stonewalled is better than being lied to. I suppose they're going to pretend this is all to protect the civilians, right?
What do you care anyway? You're just another merc like all the rest. Do you care about your pride, Wynne?
Of course I do. Otherwise, aren't we just in the business of killing?
So Wynne D. Fanchon has split off from Collard because of a sense of doing what's right and opposing corruption. So the next mission, the final mission in the game, is to defend Arteria Cranium. If I recall correctly, and based on the imagery we saw of it in the cutscene there, it is an area with a relatively low ceiling. So my Kojima missiles, which fire upwards and arc towards their enemy, are not going to be of much use here. So instead, I am going to change to my standard design. Because it brings most of its firepower straight forward. The final mission, defend Arteria Cranium, 300,000 credits. Client is Wynne D. Fanchon.
This is Wynne D. Fanchon. I need your assistance. I want you to join me on a mission. We need to deal with the ORCA forces who are planning to attack the Arteria Cranium. Without the Cranium, the Cradles will lose their wings. Many of the people who spent their lives breathing clean air wouldn't survive on the polluted surface. The League is aware of this, and is secretly complicit in ORCA's plan. This request comes from me personally. It won't be much, but we can pay you for your services. And that's all. I'm not gonna waste time with fancy speeches. Give me your answer soon.
Let's get started.
The Cranium's core is just up ahead. I am in your debt. Thank you.
I didn't realize you would sacrifice so much. We could use more soldiers like you.
You two. I guess you aren't content to rot with the rest of them.
These cowardly ideals. They will cause the downfall of humanity.
Humanity? I don't see humanity anywhere on Starva.
And mankind would be safe to dream, floating among the clouds. Is that your answer? So be it.
Maltzel fell at Big Box, and Maximilian Thermidor at Cranium. In an instant, the backbone of ORCA was broken. The League rewarded their Link saviors with glowing eulogies. They hunted down the remnants of ORCA, and once again secured the dignity of their rule. We have at long last restored peace to our world, they proclaimed. The cradles continued to float serenely above the planet. Within them, people soon forgot the terrible danger that had threatened their existence.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that game. If this is the first time you've reached the ending, I do encourage you to go back and look at the other branching paths. Like I said at the very beginning, I've structured this in a way so that you will not see the same mission in any two paths, except for the very end of these league paths, which really all three of these paths ended the same place, so you just saw the different journey. But before that, before the split between paths A, B, and C, nothing you saw is the same as in from one path to the next. So the things that you see in path D and E are completely not included at all in this Collard path, Collard/League path. There are even some differences between paths A, B, and C, though aside from the first mission, because the last two missions are the same no matter which of these paths you take. The first mission of this episode is different in paths in the other League paths that you might take, as well as some of the cutscenes are slightly different. So definitely recommend going back and looking at the other paths if you haven't watched them already. But I hope you enjoyed. This is a little bit of experiment for me, this kind of choose-your-own-adventure, mission-based style game, which I feel has a pretty strong narrative to go along with it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me next time. See you then.